Hello, 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 hello. Sorry I'm late. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Hellstorm Wargaming podcast. Welcome everyone who's seen in. Sorry, we had to do a little bit of a hard reset because OBS decided not to work. But I think I've repaired it. So hello everyone. We are currently live on Facebook, YouTube and Twitch. Wooden Spoon Wargaming, thank you very much for the follow, dude. Really appreciate it. Welcome to Damien Padley. We've got Tom Backhouse on Facebook. Hi man, your parcel is in the post, so it's on its way. Moon Tyranid just subscribed for 29 months in a row. Wowzer, 29 months in a row, everybody. Absolutely crazy. Moon Tyranid played against Alex this weekend at the Alliance Open. So welcome everyone. Bit ill. I am just kind of recovering from the previous cold I had. Got a bit of a chesty cough at the minute. But welcome, guys. Moon Tyranid, thank you very much. You're absolute legend. From the Netherlands, we've just been able to see him, where Hellstorm the crew was over at the Alliance Open this weekend, which is a 150 plus ITC major run by the Alliance Open, and that was super, super good. Welcome everyone. I want to say hello to Zydlick. How you doing? Chris Rainey on YouTube. Daniel Aelstrom. Crosbyization is a printer fixed. Yes, the printer is fine now. What is Spoon Wargaming? Love you too, man. Welcome in. And yes, kind of blessed by Nagel. So obviously, if anyone watched the Premium Battle Report from about a week ago, then I was terribly ill with Dan. Today I'm kind of okay. I've just got a bit of a chesty chest. So, how is everyone? Welcome in. This is usually the part where we do a bit of a sound check. Currently, it's only me, but we are going to have guest caller. It's the wrong way on my screen. We are going to have Dan1 join us. Currently, one of the best Chaos Space Marine players in the UK. Currently, one of the best Space Marine players in Europe, and he's going to be going through a particular book with me because I don't know everything, and he does. So. 2-4. Codex Phil, how you doing? Welcome, dude. One of the best Imperial Fist players I know. I've seen on the channel. He's also one of the very few Imperial Fist players I know until the book came out. So, how is everyone? Welcome in. Today we are back with the podcasts, and we are going to be back and stay back. So expect a 40k podcast every 2 weeks on a Wednesday. So the next one will be in 2 weeks' time, which is super cool. Because we've got some very exciting news you may have seen already. However, I want to say a massive thank you to Games Workshop for sending us this book nice and early. Look at this. Oh, look at this. How beautiful is this? They've sent us this early to do reviews, to talk about it, to show you guys all about it. So this was on pre-order on Saturday. So our first preview delivery came whilst we were all in Amsterdam. Literally couldn't be any further away. Got delivered from 30 minutes up the road, and I decided to fly to Amsterdam the same weekend. So thank you very much to those guys. I say it's on pre-order along with the Sisters Battle Force that sold out in like 20 seconds or 3 seconds or something. But we don't have one of those. But we do have this. We're going to be going through this today, as I said, with Dan. If anyone's watched the podcast before, you'll know what has to come first. What do you think of the new Twilight Vampire model from GW? The new Mephiston is absolutely beautiful. No, absolutely amazing. I absolutely love it. The Plasma Pistol pose, I was like, that's terrible. And then I saw it where he's like wiping the blood from his mouth. I was like, all over it. All over it. Got any stories from Amsterdam? Didn't Dan1 end up in one of those places? No, Dan1 didn't go, but I'm sure if he did go, I would have had to control him. So I do have a video of Toby and Alex snoring. So let's get 15 Patreons, and then I'll share that video. So is the sound working okay, everyone, before we officially start the podcast? Reason being is because we are going to be recording Dan. This is the raw audio that we'll be using. So if there's any issues now, then it's going to be an issue on the podcast. So we'll give him a helmet, though. You want to give him a helmet? Why would you give him a fist and a helmet? DJ Sai, DJ Pishai, thank you very much for subscribing, you absolute legend. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you, guys. Mohawk J already told everyone in last night's stream. What did he tell everybody? I'm very concerned now. Thank you very much. Welcome back. It's a long time no see. We're currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Alex Attempts Tabletop. Thank you for the host. Your audio is fine. Choose a guest audience. How many viewers? I know, right? It's just you can't get the staff, honestly. How you doing, Alex? I saw your video. Keep up content creating, man. Keep it up. So yeah, what's Jay been saying? What's he been saying about the Amsterdams and the shenanigans? But yeah, so I'm going to start in a second. Once we get that, I'm here for the Chaos Salt. There is a lot of Chaos Salt in this book, but look how pretty it is. Any plans for new tournament coverage, Mikey? Yes, I'm currently organising with 2 tournament organisers, both based outside of the UK soil, for some more tournament coverage, which I'll hopefully be able to talk about soon. He's got some of my models and my lips are sealed. I'll have to chase him down then. I might message him now. Daisy Duke the dog, welcome. Cool. Okay, so let's officially start the podcast. Ice Wolf Nick is commenting. Yeah, worded that very carefully, didn't I, Crosby? Sorry, someone's commenting because we went live and then we went offline again because we had a bit of an issue. So there's like an extra live video. End available maybe in a warm British area. Maybe. Warm area, British area and warm, yes, exactly. Almost like it's British but not really in England. There we go, Ice Wolf Nick. Yeah, I've just seen your comment. I've just replied to you. The reason being is we went offline because we had a bit of an issue with having everyone live at the same time, and it was all laggy. So I just killed it and started again. Yes, warm rain, exactly. That other stream. Yeah. I apologise. I'll get that deleted. I'll delete that now before we start, because otherwise I'm just going to forget. Because I don't want everyone going, oh, why is there no stream? And I'm like, there is a stream. Stop it. I'll sort that, then we'll start. Then we'll actually start. Promise. I can't remember where it goes. I haven't done this. I'll find it really quickly. I really want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Are my Rage Marines usable now in form or another? Which ones are the Rage Marines, though? Oh, that one. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to delete that live stream. I really apologise. And then I'm definitely going to start. I promise. Definitely going to start. Has anyone noticed that we started using YouTube stories now? Have you watched them? What do you think to them? Where we do like a quick 10-second video and we can chat to you about stuff. Usually me moaning about something not working. But there you go. World Eaters. Angry Boys. Delete forever. Oh, I don't know now. Yeah, get rid. Okay, I've got rid of it. Everything is technically usable. Whether it's competitive is definitely another question, but there you go. Is Dan there? No, we don't currently have Dan online. We have Dan. I'll get rid of that for now. We'll get rid of that. Okay, let's make a start, shall we? Welcome everyone to the Hellstorm Wargaming podcast number 22. This is the 22nd podcast, and it's a very special return of the Hellstorm Wargaming podcast. I really apologise for being super slack with it. Reason being is we've just had lots of stuff on recently, and it is all my fault. It is no one else's fault. It is all my fault. So that's the reason it's been a bit slack. But we are hoping to return every 2 weeks into your ears on a Wednesday evening live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook all at the same time, which we are currently live now. We go live usually between 6:30 and 7 p.m. UK time. So we currently have a live audience. So say hello, live audience. Exactly, yeah, you can just hear the crowds going wild. So, welcome. I'm currently on my own, but on my own. I'm proper Yorkshire, aren't I? I'm currently on my own, but I will be having Dan One, the currently Europe's and UK's best or second best Chaos Space Marine player.
Second best, Mikey.
Second best, there you go. He's in Discord, he's just joining in, I can hear him. So, we do have Dan One in the room. Are you in or out, Dan? Are you shaking it all about?
I'm in, mate.
He's in. There we go.
Yep.
So let me know if Dan's audio is fine. But welcome everyone to the podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Faith and Fury.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Ooh. So thank you very much to Games Workshop for sending us this book nice and early so we can chat about it to you. As I said earlier to the pre-show, we were all in Amsterdam when this got delivered. So I only actually picked this up on Monday. So how are you, Danny? You're okay?
A bit full of a cold, mate. You know, Nurgle's rot has set in, but
yeah.
Other than that, I'm not too bad.
We both got a cold, which is brilliant.
Yeah, so we should sound delightful.
Yes, indeed. So we're gonna be talking about this. I would say if you want to listen to more podcasts, we put our podcasts out on Spotify, iTunes, and SoundCloud after the live shows. But also, if you want to support the podcast, you can tell all your friends about it, or you can support financially by subscribing on Twitch, joining on YouTube, or subscribing to Hellstorm Premium on hellstormwargaming.co.uk, where we put all of our battle reports, and we put on exclusive battle reports just for you. And it's about as expensive as a posh coffee with whipped cream. So, and it's every month, and you support us directly. And we try and make it worth it. You get access to our exclusive Facebook group where we talk all about tactics and talk about lists and tournaments coming up and general chit chat. But also, you get discount on our merch store, and I realised I put them too far away because we launched new products yesterday and today. Let me get it. I can't reach. There we go. So we've been using objectives on the channel for a while, obviously, because we play Warhammer. And we have these brand new neoprene discs that everyone's been begging us for. So these are brand new. It's a set of 6. And basically they are lovely. They are numbered, so you can play Maelstrom of War with them. They have a center point, and then they have a big dotted line if you're playing GW mission. This dotted line is 3 inches from the center. And then you have a little one in the middle, which is a 40mm objective if you play an ITC. This is 3 inches from the edge. Stand on the mat, you hold it, and you don't stand on the mat, you don't. So we have 2 colours to choose from. We have light grey and dark grey, which is matching our new style. This one matches the podcast. If you're a podcast listener, you want a light grey one. If you're a battle reporter, you want a dark grey one, clearly. And then we also have dice trays as well, which match. So you have this, and you have this, and you roll the dice into it and do stuff like that. That's how you do it, innit, Dan? You roll dice and do stuff. So if you want those,
and that catches it.
Exactly. If you'd like those, then you go on to hellstormwargaming.co.uk/shop, and that is, yeah, that's right. And then that is another way to support the channel. So thank you very much for listening to my sales pitch. How would you rate it out of 10, Dan?
10, of course.
10 out of 10 for the sales pitch. So just quickly chat with the chat. Welcome everyone. Hey Mikey, what do you think to new Mephiston? I think with the plasma pistol he looks absolutely terrible, but with his wiping the blood out of his mouth, 10 out of 10 would buy.
Stinky finger,
yeah. Hellstorm Elliot in the chat says the new Mephiston is amazing in my opinion. I totally agree. Not sure if I love it, but better than the previous iteration, that's for sure. Interesting stuff. So before we go into the book, shall we review something else, Dan? I'm sure you can help me with this one. So I don't know if anyone's ready for this because it's been so long. Maybe everyone's forgotten what it's like. It's time.
It's time for the food review.
Exactly, everyone. I know Dan couldn't hear that, but it's time for the food review. Maybe that. Hopefully that's too loud.
Silence.
Yeah, it's just awkward silence for Dan. So because Dan is on another planet, doing the Great Crusader stuff, you can help me with the packaging review, and I'll do the taste review. How's that sound? Does that sound fair? Oh, fantastic. So today we have from Nuka-Cola. It's not from Amsterdam. It's actually from Down Under. He sent us a few snacks, and I've not got around to reviewing them all. So we're going to be doing one today. We have the very special Tim Tam Slams. Oh, look at that. Dark chocolate and sticky raspberry flavour slams. Bite, sip, slam. What do you think?
I mean, we've had Tim Tams before, haven't we? We got sent Tim Tam, but they look good.
Yeah, so Tim Tams are basically like posh penguins for our UK brothers. Or if you're from the US, I've got no idea what to compare it to. It's like a chocolate biscuit caked in chocolate with chocolate in the middle. New phone who dis. Hi Confurioso, how you doing? So, what do you think to the packaging, Dan? Does this look tasty? Would you buy this?
I'm not a fan of like fruit in my chocolate, so I personally wouldn't. But it looks bright, colourful, you know.
Yeah, there's
You can see
9.
its attraction.
You can see the attraction. There's 9 biscuits. There's net weight of 175 grams. And Australia have this weird thing. They have a health star rating, which I think is hilarious, right? So they have a health star rating out of 5. So if you've got 5 stars, that's like super healthy. That's basically water or dust. And then you've got 0 stars. If you've got 0 stars, that's like the eating lard with a spoon. Right. And then these guys have a health rating of 0.5 stars. So they're comparable to eating a lard with a spoon. They are not half a star away. So it says you should recycle. They are from Arnott's Biscuit in North Strathfield and then NSW, whatever that means. Somewhere in Australia.
New South Wales.
New South Wales, fantastic. There we go. Thanks, Dan. This is why I need
right.
you.
It sounded right.
It sounds right, doesn't it? So yeah, it's from New South Wales because we just decided. So I'm going to open them up. As I said, there's 9 of these. We're not going to do this for too long, don't worry, guys. Dan will get bored, never mind the chat. So as you can see, if I can get one out of the very nice recyclable packaging, thinking about the planet. Not thinking about my body with it, not half a star, but there you go. So it's like, if you've ever had a penguin, it's like a penguin, a posh penguin. But it's not individually wrapped. I'm getting hungry again, everyone says. So I'm gonna break it open and show you the middle, because I've never had one of these before. Ugh. Oh, there we go. That's interesting. It's melting everywhere. But it's got like a jam in it, but it's also got like a cream in it.
Oh, no thanks.
Yeah, exactly. That's weird. That's weird. So it's like, actually, it's on the picture. I didn't even look at that. So you can see on the picture, it's got like the jam oozing out the middle, but with like a strawberry, raspberry cream around the edge. Dark chocolate and sticky raspberry flavour. So, okay, let's try it. Let's try it then.
I think Sean's being a feeder here. He's like, eat it, Mikey.
Okay. I know exactly what it tastes like. Welcome to the 10k sub new viewers who have no idea what's going on. This is standard. This is why we have 10,000 subscribers. So do you know Quality Streets? Do you know they have the raspberry flavour one? It tastes like one of them but with biscuit in it.
You're not selling it to me, Mikey.
I'm not selling it to myself because I think the jam is quite weird. It's not like a runny jam, it's like chewy jam. It's like a jelly tot inside of a biscuit. That's
if
weird.
I had a box of Quality Street, it'll be the truffles I eat. I'm just not keen on flavourings in my chocolate.
Yeah. It's like a hard jam or a soft jelly top. Hellstorm does ASMR where Mikey just eats food. 1 second then. I think everyone needs that in their life right now. So I'm just gonna take a bite of the biscuit. If everyone's ready for me to bite the biscuit, I'm gonna eat it.
We're gonna hear the crunch. Oh.
I couldn't even do it without laughing. I have no idea what that sounds like, but I imagine it was quite terrible.
It was crunchy.
Crunchy. They are designed to slam, which I presume is Australian for dipping in your cuppa. Oh, to be fair, this is that thing that my mum taught me to do, and I don't even realise that other people did it. It's where you take a chocolate biscuit, and you bite the opposite corners off, and then you slip your coffee through it. That must be what slamming is.
What?
I know that sounds gross, but look at this picture. Right, that is exactly what it's telling you to do. So you bite the opposite corners off. You do it with like Rockies, or not Rockies, breakaways. Breakaways, guys, like doing this is the best, right? So you bite the corners off, and then you use it as a straw, and then you quickly eat the biscuit. And it's kind of like dipping your biscuit into your coffee, but like on steroids. So, sounds like Shrek eating snails. I've got chocolate all over my pop filter, which is just gross. So, out of 10, the packaging is a solid 9, but actual eating it, I'm gonna say it's a solid like 5, maybe 6. I didn't enjoy the jam in it. I'm not much of a jam eater.
No, I preferred when we had the Tim Tams without the jam in.
Yeah.
We filmed that time.
Yeah, I agree. So like normal Tim Tams, 10 out of 10. Tim Tam slams, not so sure.
I think you've got to be you've got to like the strawberry in your biscuit and stuff like that. Otherwise,
Yeah, exactly. I said the jam looks extra oozy on the picture, but it's just like a melted jelly top, which is just not what I want.
Yeah.
Wait, Mikey, where is the sock? You've changed. Look, we've grown older now. We have changed. We've become more professional. We review food properly, like what we've just done, and we have better sound equipment. So there you go. That was Tim Tam Slams. Packaging 10 out of 10, and then actual taste, and it was the texture that put me off, I think. So there you go. I'm waiting for this song to finish. I am a melted jelly top. I totally agree. That song's got like 10 minutes left. Thanks so very much to Tom, who's in the chat, for making that Hellstorm food review song for us. So yeah, I've gone professional now, so we have to use professional equipment because we do Codex previews now, so we're one of the elite. So there you go. That was Tim Tam Slams. Nice, but not great. Not as nice as traditional Tim Tams. So yeah, I think that's the end. So are we done here, Dan? Is that it?
Yeah, mate. I'm all out of Tim Tams.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Catch you later. Grandma, 90-year-old, made Parmigiana. Grandma, 90 years old, made. I can't pronounce that because it's Italian. Parmigiana delle Manze. That was not right. But there you go. Having a good time. Cheers from Rome. Well, welcome Matteo Tragona from Rome. Thank you very much. When is the Review Bra collab coming? If you want to put me in contact, then yes. Good show until next time. Is that stream over? Shall it be the stream over? Maybe. Just like
Yeah,
sneak everybody in to watch just me eat some Tim Tams. I'm pretty sure someone makes money doing that. Currently melting a Stroop waffle over my tea, so much better. Yeah, Stroop waffles are really good. We did Stroop waffles last year when we came back from Amsterdam. Confurioso says, are you lads applying for No Retreat 9, by the way? Dan, are you applying for No Retreat 9? Or is it all hush,
There's no
hush?
harm in applying, is there? Well, you can only say no.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's probably yes. I'll always apply because hopefully they don't ask me like a week before this time and I can actually make it. Mikey, where on the great ceramic poo dump is Neil? What? What even is that sentence? Is it Amsterdam story time? Yeah, I only came in for the drunk stories. Okay, here's one story that happened. So, me, Alec, I think Dan, you might have half heard this story. Me, Alex, Toby, and Elliot all shared a room, and Alex is a terrible snorer, but we didn't know that Toby snored as well. So,
Oh no!
But Toby's got... So, Alex, it's been described, he snores like a diesel engine. But Toby has a little, tiny, little cute snore. Like a little pig snore. Like a little baby... Like, imagine a little baby pig having a little nap, and it's like... So
that with the diesel train, it's like
so it was like
imagine the noise.
It was like this. So what I did, being the absolute legend that I am, is I used my camera to film it. So I filmed Toby snoring, which is hilarious. and then I moved to Alex, and when I filmed Toby, he has his back to us. But when I filmed Alex, his face was pointing at the camera, and I didn't realise I've got this second camera now, and it has a light there that's very bright red. And I was a little bit drunk, and I didn't realise that I was shining a bright red light into his face. And he woke up, so I sprinted into the bathroom and had to block him out. And I've got it all on video.
Excellent.
So yes, I do have it recorded. It is on this memory card. And we'll be doing a review of Amsterdam, so make sure you keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, you guys had a good tournament, didn't you?
Yeah, it was really good. So our Tank came 5th. He went 5-1. I went 4-2. Toby came 29th with Grey Knights. He went 4-2 as well. Elliot came 80th, so around 80. He won 3 games, and then Alex won 2 games. And he and Toby both got best in faction for their faction, but also the other early ones with that faction, which is quite fun. Both won Grey Knights and Adeptus Custodes.
It's like me this weekend at Caledonia Grand Slam. It's only myself and my cousin that are running pure Chaos Space Marine, so in the hunt for best in faction there.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, Dino
starts beating me on the Saturday. I'll just make sure he sleeps outside.
Mikey and his 15 sneak. I didn't have 15 sneaky Centurions. I had 10. When we release this video, I'm probably going to edit a battle report, and then I'm going to do like a little roundup of Alliance Open with that footage included, because I think it'd be rude not to share it. So, so everyone just harass Toby and ask him about his snoring, because I have footage of it. So, are you thinking about going next year, Dan? Fancy it? Coming to Amsterdam with the boys?
Yeah, we can get a couple of the guys going again. I think I can try and swing it this time. Big
group of us. It was great to see you guys on the Alliance Open stream. It wasn't great to watch me on the Alliance Open stream because I got tabled at the end of my turn
over
1.
Pretty quickly, wasn't it?
yeah. So basically, I played against Tim and some Iron Hands Flyers, and obviously I'm playing a Raven Guard, Imperial Fist Soup, and my list relies on waiting for turn 2 Deep Strike, and then obviously Iron Hands Flyers are really good, and I didn't have a great amount of terrain to hide behind, so he tabled me. And then when I went to start my turn 2, I had no models left, so I couldn't play my turn or any turn after that.
Wow.
which is hilarious. I was on the stream for maybe an hour. It was alright though, because it was the end of the Saturday, so I got a nice early finish. But then Tank was on twice. He was on game 1 and he was on game 6, the final game, because he could have won the tournament, but he lost to Alex Harrison, who he was sharing a room with, which was just hilarious. So, Mikey, where is Dan? Tom, I've turned him up a little bit. Which Dan won? He's on the phone. He's at home.
In Manchester.
In Manchester. 10 Centurions, so you need at least 3 of those dice trays you're selling. Where is Dan Buchanan the Cannon? I'm not sure. I think he's at home. I think he's busy tonight. So, but yeah, so there you go. That was a quick roundup of Amsterdam. He's here. Look, don't look into the dirty ladies of the night. We didn't do anything like that. We just had a nice walk seeing the sights in Amsterdam. We don't partake in any nonsense like that rubbish. So tonight we're going to be reviewing Faith and Fury, the Codex. We're actually going to do it now. I know I've said it like 4 times, but we are actually going to review it now. So Dan, you've had a look through this book. How do you feel about it? .com, thank you very much.
Excited, mate.
Bits. Thank you very much to the bits.com. Good evening to you. So you're excited, Dan. First impression. What's your first impression?
There's going to be some more painting from me. Some new models need to be added, I think. Some mixing up with some legions as well. So there's going to be some good synergies, I think.
Yeah.
Some other factions are a bit more fluffy rather than competitive, but you know, from what a lot of stuff I run, like a lot of the legion traits, if you don't mind me just quickly saying, the legion traits stayed the same. So as an Alpha Legion player, worried about them like losing -1 like Raven Guard did for a lot of vehicles and stuff. I'm staying the same, so I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, exactly. So what a lot of people are expecting it with the Laytok as well, that the -1 to hit over 12 would change to cover save over 12, but currently that's the same. Also, sadly, they didn't change that, but they did also leave Legion traits to only affect infantry, bikes, dreadnoughts, and cavalry. I think the cavalry is the extra one. So currently, your Legion traits don't affect your Land Raiders like they do in the Space Marine Codex. Maybe they'll address that one day.
Sakarans.
Yeah, which I think's a little bit of a shame. But you know, that's what it is. It's been half an hour since the stream started, and we're about to open the book. Yeah, it's the warm-up show, so we've got to warm you up. Really hope Iron Warriors are good. We'll have to see. In your opinion, which legions are the best with the new rules of the supplement? Off the face of it, I think the winners are Alpha Legion and Word Bearers, and probably World Eaters.
Yeah, we were having a chat before, weren't we? I really do think, even though Word Bearers still have probably the worst trait, Legion trait, I think they've actually benefited massively with some of the stuff you can do for like the characters and stratagems and stuff. So
yeah, exactly.
So excited to see.
The Legion trait isn't great, but everything else in this book is. But the Legion traits from the Codex. So every Legion has new relics, new stratagems, new Warlord traits. Should say that one of the Warlord trait in each of the out of the 6 that they gain is from the Codex. So, for example, Alpha Legion still has I Am Alfarius, but they have 5 new ones as well. So, shall we start, Dan? We're not going to talk about Space Marines or anything. A separate video will be about the Space Marine section, but let's start. Where do you want to start, Dan? Which Legion?
Well, should we just quickly wrap up? Like, they put in Hateful Assault and the Rapid Fire rules as well, so that's set in stone now. But
they've called it Malicious Volleys.
So one thing I was kind of hoping they'd do something like with the drop pods, like the Dread Claws. There's nothing in here that I can see at the moment that allows like the turn 1 Dread Claws or anything like that. So that was a bit of a shame. Yeah, I was hoping we might get something like that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that they've not updated that, but I guess that is a Forge World unit as well, so they haven't really touched them at all for a while now.
Yeah, true. So. If I'm cool with you, mate, we'll go into the Alpha Legion if that's all right.
Yeah, sure. We'll start with Alpha Legion because it's Dan's favourite faction.
At the moment, yeah. I mean, at heart, it's the World Eaters, but for like a competitive scene, it's definitely I've got always my Alpha boys. Yeah. I'll just quickly touch the demon weapons. I can't see many people using these over a Legion relic. There's much better options, basically, guys. So when you see them, fluff wise, there's some they can be all right. The Zinch model only replaces a power sword or Hellforge sword. And basically, you can't take Impulse save, so it's strength user, AP -3, damage D3. You can't take Impulse save. So that's probably
can you pronounce what it's called, Dan?
The Boundless, is that all you're getting from me, Mikey?
it's the Boundless. It's like Oak, but with lots of apostrophes. So yeah, that one's pretty cool. I also like Gorholax, the Fist of Decay, which is the Nurgle Power Fist, which it's flat 3 damage, but always wounds on a 2+, which is pretty cool. It's just otherwise it's just an old Power Fist. Bad. I mean, it's not something you'd say, oh, I definitely need that in my list, but I think it's not bad. It's all right. I mean, you'll always find
good. Like if you're just having a bit more of a casual game, these kind of demon relics will be, a nice little throw in and just see how they do. But I can't see myself using them.
Yeah, because I mean, this is instead of a normal relic, and like the normal relics are they're like so needed anyway, and they usually buff half your army rather than a single model. But I mean, it's cool, but I think they've made it interesting. They've got the demon weapon rule, so if you roll a 1, you take a mortal wound. If you roll a 2, you can act as normal. don't know what I mean. That's cool and fluffy, but it's just nerfing Chaos Space Marines because they're always a bit like, oh, you get this cool thing, but only if you do this. Whereas every other army just get the cool thing straight up.
I mean, guaranteed you'll kill your character like I did with Abaddon that time.
That one time, that was a hilarious game. So
yeah, it was.
I mean, the Slanesh one where it says when you roll for the demon weapon effect, so if you roll a 1, nothing happens. But on the 2+, you get that many extra attacks, which is cool.
Yeah. See, I'd probably rather stick with the Talons than that because you've got a 1 in 6 chance of not being able to attack at all because it's replacing your weapons.
Yeah.
A 2 or a 3 getting the same amount or just 1 less than what you would do normally.
Oh, you're basically looking for a 4. 6. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I wouldn't risk it. Imagine your Demon Prince gets in and you roll a 1.
Roll 1. CP, another 1.
Yeah.
Great.
yeah.
So
wouldn't want to risk it.
It's good. It's good, don't get me wrong, but it's only going to be beneficial 50% of the time, and 1 in 6 of the time, it's going to stop you doing anything. So,
yeah.
So, quite then, let's go through Alpha Legion. So, as we said, they've not gained much in terms of anything crazy good. They've just gained Warlord traits, relics, and stratagems, but some of them are quite cheeky. So, what Warlord traits have you noticed which are really good, Dan?
Yeah, so I'm, like you mentioned, I'm probably just only going to stick to a couple of the good stratagems tonight. Just to, we don't want to go on all night. You mentioned earlier, I've already got I Am Alfarius, which is good. You take an extra warlord trait, but it's from the Chaos Space Marines Codex, so you can't even take one of the new ones when you take that. So you have that trait, and then you've got to pick one of the old ones, which are all a bit
a bit of a shame, really.
But then obviously when your warlord does die, you can have the ability to pass it on then, which that aspect of it's good, and it always has been okay, but it's still it's average. The one that stands out though for me is it pronounced clandestine?
Yeah, I think so. This is number 2. So it's when resolving an attack made against this warlord, subtract 1 from the hit roll.
Yeah, so what I'm looking at with this, with a bit of kind of like synergy, is Disco Lord, -1 to hit, naturally for being Alpha Legion.
It's really good.
An extra -1 to hit to make it -2. And then if you've got some Nurgle buffing sorcerers, get Miasma on that boy, -3.
Yeah.
-3 to hit. So your survivability, Disco Lord just goes through the roof. And then if there's any vehicles nearby, if they're shooting at it, there's going to be another minus to hit within 6 inches. So you can get some nice little kind of like combos going off, and he can like survive and stuff like that. So
so it just ups the survivability, because the issue with Disco Lords is once they're in, they murder something, but sometimes the issue is getting them there. Someone in chat,
and if you go second, pretty much you're gonna
just lose
them.
Brayton said Clandestine plus Shadeblade plus Legion trait plus Miasma Pestilence plus Benediction of Darkness equals -5 to hit character. What's the Shadeblade?
Basically, in combat, they're -1 to hit
the
opponents. So it's like replaces Power Sword.
Oh,
obviously,
nice.
A Disco Lord doesn't have that, but if you had it against
a normal Chaos Lord.
Yeah.
And then the Benediction of Darkness. Which one was that one?
Benediction of Darkness. It's not in the new stratagem, so I'll have to check that later on.
Not sure. But they get at least -4 to hit. -3 if you're a Disco Lord. -4 if you've got a Power Sword. -5 if you've got whatever that is. Apologies. So that's a really good warlord trait. I said for a big thing that can be targeted. I would say that on like a normal Chaos Lord, it's an Apostle Prayer. There you go. It's an Apostle, the Benediction of Darkness. That makes sense. Cheers, guys. I will say that Clandestine isn't probably going to be that great on like a normal Chaos Lord, because you usually can't target them anyway. So it's not going to come up as much as something like the Disco Lord. So
exactly. So that's kind of it on the other warlord traits are okay. They're nothing like stands out. Cult leader, Chaos cultist, just you don't really see them. They're just getting destroyed by Marine armies at the moment. You can clear 30 cultists easy enough and stuff like that. So give giving them an extra AP on their attacks is not all that when they're strength 3.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Master of Diversion's nice, but when you compare it to the Raven Guard Master of Ambush, the Master of Diversion is at the start of the first battle round, pick up to 3 Alpha Legion units and redeploy them. It's cool that that's free. It's essentially it's the same as Phantasm or the Ultramarine version. But when like Raven Guard have pick up a unit and put it anywhere on the board, it's just that's like, okay, cool, thanks.
If we're looking at a more competitive scene, probably that number 2 is probably the best one that's there in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
That one.
So, well, that's nice and all.
Could be better.
JW says, while that's nice and all, don't the Disco Lords still get obliterated in Overwatch versus Salamanders or Imperial Fist? But maybe kinda, maybe some maybe some souping's needed to because I know a lot of legions have got a stratagem similar to the one that's previewed for Night Lords where you can't disengage, which is cool. You can't.
Yeah, and there's also stuff like I've been looking up for myself on my own list for a while. I played Tank a couple of weeks ago, a bit of a practice game like Warp Talons.
Yeah,
Raptorial Host, and they're blind charges, so you tag as much as possible. It's turn 2, so again, trying to keep your Disco Lord alive will be the tricky bit. But if you can, then you're getting a safe charge basically.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one route anyway. If you're Alpha Legion anyway.
Yeah, as Stuart said, number 2 is only really good on a Disco Lord, which I totally agree. So
yeah, correct.
Otherwise, there's nothing else that really stands out.
No, mate, I can just go straight into the relics if that's cool with you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so relics, we've got 6 to choose from. One of them, I think, was already in. Oh no, Hydra's Teeth is different, isn't it? So, apologies.
Blade of the Hydra was the one that was already in. So I think they're all different, these ones. The first one, Drake Scale Plate, is good. It gives you a 2-up armor save and a bit of a feel no pain on a mortal wound. Ideally, you want it on like a Demon Prince or something like that, and a 2-up armor save on something you're going to launch on the board. And
sadly it is an infantry model only. So it kind of like
brings it down a little bit into like the mid-tier to like good artifacts to have. Yeah.
Again, it's like you could put this on a Chaos Lord. He's got a 2-up armor save, great. He's probably already got one anyway. He's got a 5+ ignore against mortal wound, which is great. But how often is that going to come up? And it's only when he's in combat, and it's like, do you want a little Chaos Lord in combat? Probably not. He's probably at the back helping out.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Or completely agree, mate, on that one. So, I've picked two. I've picked 2 relics that I quite like the look of. First one is Mind Veil.
Yeah, this one's really, really cool.
And this is I like this because, again, I keep going back to the Disco a little bit. It is one of the most powerful units Chaos Space Marines have. But what this does is basically at the start of your movement phase, you roll 3d6, and that's the move characteristic for that phase, for that model. And it basically ignores terrain and ignores models. So in the charge phase, it's like it's got fly. It can just fly over the models.
Yeah.
If you've got like a screen of scouts in front of your in front of like a repulsor or something like that, you can just completely ignore them. You move straight over it, and then you're hitting what you want to hit. So it can be really good for catching someone out who's screened and left a nice big Disco Lord hole behind their screens and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I've just got to close this because it's going to... Sorry, 1 second.
Yep.
Obviously, like Dropbox has decided to start updating and just send loud alerts. So Mind Veil is like... it's really cool because you can get the blind charges off as well. So if you don't want to get overwatched by half an army because it's Tau, I mean, Tau have SMS, but you can just charge straight through a wall and ignore it. And then also you can fall back and recharge.
Yeah, it's good for getting some good movement on like a Terminator, a Sorcerer and Terminator armor or something like that. The only issue is like if you put it on a Disco Lord, imagine you roll that 3-inch or 4-inch movement, you'll be pretty salty, aren't you? When you've got a nice 12-inch in your back pocket, well, that's what does.
God damn it, Dan.
Sorry, mate.
Is Shade Blade just -1 to hit in combat? No, it says when resolving an attack made against the bearer, subtract 1 from the hit roll. Doesn't say close combat.
Oh yeah,
attack.
I didn't spot that. Yeah, nice. So
so Shade Blade is straight up,
super shiny sword.
Yeah. It's rumored
Pretty
to be of
much.
Xenos origin, Dan. Within the hilt lies unknown cloaking technology that turns the wielder into naught but shadow when in darkness and low light. There you go.
Nice.
So mind veils are pretty cool. Charge through walls,
Yep.
sometimes 3 inches, sometimes 18. Nobody knows.
Yep.
So what else have you spotted?
Hydrous Whale.
Whale.
Well, so this is kind of like if someone's using an expensive stratagem, or if they've not got that many CP left and they've been looking like saving the last 2 CP to do something good, or they want to vect you or something like that.
Mhm.
This basically, once for battle, start the battle round. If you think it's going to be clutch, you're going to need it. On a 4-up, it's going to cost your opponent an extra command point to use that stratagem. So if it's starting to get kind of close and you're getting quite low on the CP front, then pop that 4-up and then they can't use it, which is quite nice. Again, it's not the strongest out of the relics, but it situationally it could be it'd be quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this is the same ability that the Calidus assassin has. And that is an 85. Is it 85 points now, assassins? I think they are, aren't they?
Yeah, that's from turn 1, and you can spend 1-2 CP to make it go into round 2. So that's allowing you to have 2 turns of it, whereas this you only get it for 1 turn. So
yeah, exactly. So this is a bit more situational. A bit more situational, but it's also essentially free. It might cost you 1 CP to buy it for a relic. But it's essentially a free ability, which is pretty cool. The issue is it's at the start of the battle round, you have to decide. So
exactly. So you have to be thinking, looking at what your opponent's got left and what they could potentially be doing, and using it. You're probably going to use it turn 1 or 2 to try and stop something going off, or whatnot, or making someone think about their command points and that. But
exactly. Chastmaster Valrak, welcome in. He says Imperial Fist #1. Shall we do Iron Warriors next?
Yeah.
So Hydrous Whale, it's okay. It's once for battle, which is a bit of a shame. You have to use it at the start of the battle round, which is a shame, but the ability itself is quite good. So yeah,
exactly. The rest, the other 3, are, like I say, Shade Blade. Now rereading that it could be quite good, but again, you can't put that on a Disco Lord. So having it on a Lord just doesn't. An extra -1 in combat's always nice, I guess. So
yeah, I suppose it protects some sniper rifles if you need to. Obviously, eliminators are absolutely everywhere these days because they're so cheap, making you -1 to hit. But they hit on a 1+ shooting through walls, so you're gonna be -2. So they're still gonna be hitting you on 3s or 4s, which is just bonkers. And ignore cover. So there you go. So stratagems. They finally fixed forward operatives, Dan. They've finally written the new one.
Fixed it. It's a shadow. It's a form of glory.
But they've written it in the right way.
Yes, they have. So they've written it correctly. It's not a copy and paste or anything like that. They have corrected it to what they want it to do, basically. So still good for getting that center board. It's 1 CP, and you can use it as many times as you want. It's because it's before the first battle round. So you could really push out your models 9 inches. It's infantry only, I believe, but cultist noise marines. I know I used it to good effect against Malik at Cali Mayhem to be able to move my noise marines, then double move them with wartime and stuff like that. I was over almost in his deployment zone.
Exactly. So you get that free move, movement. And then you can obviously you have the access to warp time, but you obviously can put obliterators and stuff which can be quite slow. If you end up starting them on the front line, at least you can move them forwards a little bit, advance them before the game starts.
They can actually go 14 inches with that, which is quite, or 50. Yeah, I think they've got 5-inch move, so it's got good movement, and then a 24-inch threat range with the flesh metal guns.
Yeah, exactly. So not a bad stratagem. It's nice that it's written down correctly rather than in Codex 2 where they did a reprint and left it as the old one, which was no longer usable. But I think the Alpha Legion got some quite cool strats.
Honestly, mate, I think I've wrote quite a lot of these stratagems down for Alpha Legion because I think they're going to be situationally, some of them are good, but some of them could come in really clutch when you've got something happening. One of them, sabotaged armor, we've already seen on the community. I really like this. Imagine turn 1 you pop a repulsor or something big like a knight in an opponent's army.
And then you sabotage armory. Yeah, it's really,
That
really
is going
cool.
to cause chaos, and they can't re-roll it. So
On a free
on a
up,
3-up,
yeah,
yeah,
it's going to explode.
1 CP.
It's great because
That
the way they've worded it as well. If you against something like an enemy Leviathan, it usually explodes on a 5. But the way they've worded it, it's still that explodes on a 2-up. So which is super good, and it can't be re-rolled.
Yeah,
So I think it's
exactly.
hilarious
I mean,
as well. And that's what I think.
exactly.
The Alpha Legion is very much like we've sabotaged you and then ran away. We're going to watch what happens. That's what I see with all of these strats.
Definitely.
There's scrambled coordinates, and it's just I like landing coordinates are tampered by infiltrating enemies' Vox and data networks. I'm just like you're just screwing with those guys, aren't you? They're on the way and you're just messing around with them. I think it's hilarious. So.
What I quite like about that scrambled coordinates, you can really mess with like GSC with that. So like a lot of Gene Stealer Cult players like to use the demo charge bikes, come in 3 inches away, and then launch a million demo charges at you and just obliterate you off the board. That, even if they use that +6 D6 movement, perfect ambush, stuff like that, they're still only moving 6 inches. They're going to be outside of 6-inch range because you have to be 12.01 away from you when you deploy. So they're not going to be able to throw the crack grenades or whatever they are.
Yeah. Harris Richards come in and says, if we play again, you're banned from using that stratagem against me.
That's exactly what I'm thinking of when I talk about that. Is Harris.
That is just it's absolutely huge because obviously Gene Stealer Cults, Raven Guard come in turn 2 essentially, and you just go, okay, now you can't deploy at 12 inches with any of my Alpha Legion units because obviously Space Marines have that on infiltrators and some of the characters, but that is just army wide. That is a humongous bubble.
I've seen all these flamers with like 11-inch range. You're like, nope, pushing them out of range. They come in, they're not going to hit you. So
exactly,
1 CP, really good stratagem. Another one, conceal, a 2 CP.
Mm-hmm.
I can see this being used against for a unit of Havocs, las cannons. I'm looking at mainly just for bat reps and stuff like that to see how they go. But if you've got the CP in your army. And you've got like multiple squads of cultists or models just in front of the Havocs that are going to be backfielding with all las cannons. They're going to be Mark of Slaanesh. You're going to be shooting them twice. 2 CP, they can't be targeted unless they're the closest.
The closest visible as well. So
exactly, yeah. So you're going to be getting at least 2 turns of shooting with like a high-powered, unit, which normally you think, I might have to delete that because I don't want las cannons, hitting me 2-3 turns in a row.
Yeah,
you can guarantee you're going to get, if you spend it wisely, 2 turns of solid shooting. But again, you're probably going to have to look at getting a brigade or multiple battalions to utilize the CP to be able to do all that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
endless cacophonies 2 CP as well. So it does, you will burn your CP, but
yeah. But Alpha Legion are known for taking lots of cultists, so a double battalion is probably a standard these days.
Yeah, it's nice. So, you can get it pretty cheap anyway.
Yeah.
So I quite like that. I can see that being utilized a lot, to be honest with you, mate. Or just like a turn where you think, I really need the obliterators that have come down. So another thing they've got is so you can mix this with another stratagem that they've recently got, which is turn 1. Is it Renascence Infiltration?
Yeah.
Turn 1. Use this on a squad of cultists, and then they're removed from the board and set up at your next movement phase.
Yeah.
Put those down 9 inches away from the enemy, have a perfect obliterator blob to sit behind them, and then you've got 30 wounds that people have to get through before they can touch obliterators, which again, as an Alpha Legion player, you're having the Mark of Slaanesh to fire twice. So
exactly.
36 shots. You guarantee pretty much to keep them a turn, unless someone's going to put all their firepower into your cultists to then finally get hold of your obliterators. So I think that could be combined. Those 2 stratagems could be really good.
Essentially, it's like a slow deep strike, isn't it? So basically, you set them up, use them for a turn, and then at the end of your movement phase, you pick them back up, and then you can deep strike them next turn.
Exactly. It's half the price of the cultist one, which is 2 CP. I can't remember what it's called.
What's it called now? It's one where you essentially remove the unit and then set it up, but it has to be on the edge of the board. But this is just anywhere on the battlefield. It gives
you a bit more flexibility, doesn't it?
Yeah, so pretty cool. That one's really good. And then you got ambush as well, which is a really good stratagem. It's essentially all spec scan, but you're not -1 to hit, and it's within 18 rather than 12. So shoot the unit as a deep strike.
I'm excited for this because again against like some like GSC players, and it can be against anything. So Leviathans can do this. 16 Leviathan shots hitting on 2s.
Yeah.
Flamers as well if the person's moved them forward as well, because I think it will be on the active player person, so they'll decide who goes first. You do the stratagem on a Gene Stealer Cult player to move forward D6 or fire this. So they'll probably make you fire first, so you won't be able to get your flamers in. But I would take 16 shots from a Leviathan shooting at a squad of acolytes with rock saws.
Yeah, exactly.
Before they move all day,
Yeah, super good. And then
really like that.
Just a couple more. Both of these ones is 1 CP. You got Feigned Retreat, so 1 CP you can fall back and shoot with any unit, which is super good. As you just mentioned, you got Leviathans probably getting charged 3 inches away. We hate Gene Stealer Cult, so you got Leviathans being charged. You can just walk out of combat and then shoot again, which is super good. And then you got We Are Alfarius, where you can get an extra Warlord trait, which is also super sound. So obviously, like your Master of Diversion, if you need to redeploy, you can pay CP. For We Are Alfarius, get that extra Warlord trait and then jump around and redeploy and stuff like that. So
yeah, exactly. So if you have taken that I Am Alfarius, you could then put that like Clandestine on a Disco Lord or something like that, So
exactly, yeah.
Warlord safe and throwing him forward.
Yeah. So I definitely think Alpha Legion won in this book. They got lots of good stuff. I mean, they got some stuff 100%. Which is I think the stratagems are definitely outshine anything else that they got. I mean, the relics are quite cool. The Warlord traits are okay, but I think the stratagems are absolutely crazy.
It's all about the stratagems, I agree, mate. You just got to get the CP in there so you can utilise them for a couple of turns.
Yeah. So, out of 10, Alpha Legion, ding, 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 I'm going to give him an 8. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I was thinking 7, 8 out of 10. Solid with that. Just let down for a couple of the Warlord traits, which could have been a little bit better, I think.
Yeah. Can't have them all, I guess. So,
exactly.
So, there you go, guys. So, that's our hot take on the Alpha Legion. We're not going to be able to do every Legion tonight. We're going to do probably 2 or 3. We might do another podcast soon. So which one do you want to do next time?
See what time it is. Well, since it's me and it's all about what I like tonight.
Angry Red Boys.
Angry Red Boys. That's the one.
So let's talk about the World Eaters. The World Eaters.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So again with these chaps, the Warlord traits I didn't like too much, to be honest with you, mate. Number 4, Violent Urgency. I prefer Warlord traits, which could probably, either hit really hard or buff your other units and stuff like that. So, Violent Urgency. When an advance or charge roll is made for a friendly World Eaters unit within 6 of this Warlord, add 1 to the result. So that's quite nice for getting your.
Just getting everyone moving. Or something. Yeah, that's what I do when I look at Warlord traits when I'm building an army. Warlord traits and relics. I don't look at like, I can give my man, my captain. He can only be wounded on a 4, and then he's got a really cool Thunderhammer. And I'm just like, no. I look at what can help buff the army rather than him, because if the army's better, then he doesn't need to do anything. For example, so that's a really good one. I mean, because you've got like True Berserker, like when resolving an attack made with a melee weapon against his model, half any damage rounded up.
Which I like that. It's a bit like a Baden's rule, which makes him a bit more survivable. Yeah.
But if you had Violent Urgency and all your Khorne Berserkers ran up and killed everyone before he got there, you don't need True Berserker.
Exactly, yeah. So the one I liked, on that is number 6, Battle Lust.
Yeah.
So it's all about heroical intervention, 6 inches instead of 3. Can move 6 inches. He fights first in the fight phase as well. So if he does heroically intervene, he's fighting first unless you've got units that are charged. So that's quite good.
This would be really good on a Demon Prince or something like that.
Exactly, yeah.
So a big Demon Prince, you can't go within 6 of it, and then you can just go in and murder in. Which is pretty cool.
Exactly, and if they've not declared it, then it's like you can't swing back at it. So that Demon Prince is butchering something in their turn which is pretty cool.
Welcome, Chris Frozin. How you doing? Welcome in. The Warpforge. Hey, lads. It's your Chris. Boy, the Warpforge, coming at you with the freshest Night Lord salt. Night Lord's got one really good stratagem, and then full stop. The end.
Good night.
Good night, Night Lord.
Yeah.
So they're like some decent ones. I mean, there's some other ones. It's like when an enemy character, monster, or Titanic model is destroyed as a result of attack made by this Warlord, add 1 to the Warlord's attacks and strength characteristics, which is pretty cool. But I mean, he's got to go in there and fight a Titanic model. So
yeah.
So it's not too bad.
Yeah, again,
any
quite
other
like the
off
Alpha
note, Dan?
Legion. No, quite like the Alpha Legion one. I didn't really pick that many from the World Eaters ones that I liked the look of too much that I thought would be like super competitive.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are typical of Khorne and a World Eater, which is a lot of like buffing yourself up at the start of the fight phase. Number 2, add D3 to his attacks. If there's more models within 3 of them than there is friendly.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's out on his own, he's getting D3 extra, fighting twice. That could really stack up. So
yeah,
it's good, but not massively viable. I don't.
Yeah, I do think they missed the trick here as well, because obviously you have Khan the Betrayer, and he has a set Warlord trait. I presume it's Slaughterborn.
Yes.
But I'm surprised they didn't like make a really cool one just for Khan and add it here, because with all the Space Marines they changed all the Warlord traits, whereas he's kind of just stuck. He's stuck with.
Yeah, gets an extra attack if he kills an enemy character, doesn't he?
Or
monster or Titanic.
Yeah, which is cool, but it'd be nice if he had like another cool one that he could take from here instead. So
yeah,
there you go. So if you want to play, if you're playing with Khan and you want to use a new Warlord trait, he can't be a Warlord, sadly. So yeah, shall we do artifacts or stratagems then?
Really, artifacts, please, mate.
Okay. So they get 6 artifacts for these guys as well. As I said, everyone gets 6 artifacts. They get around 8 stratagems each, depending how long they are, how many words each card has.
So I quite liked a couple of these relics. Some fun little options that you can add to your characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Basically, I picked 1, 2, 3 off the bat. So the first 3 I quite like the look of. So one of them is a plasma pistol.
Yeah, the Crimson Killer.
That's it. Yeah. Basically, it doesn't say anything about it being overcharged or anything like that. So nothing about rolling a 1 and he's removed from play. There's nothing. It's just strength 9, AP -3, 3 damage. On a 4-up, you take a mortal wound in addition, which is a nice little bonus. If makes you think about, do you need the chainsaw chain axe combo? As a berserker lord or something like that.
Yeah.
You probably don't need that. You could probably justify sticking a plasma pistol on your lord now.
Yeah, which is pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, they got Gorefather, which was a bit of a meme when it first came out. When it was like,
yeah,
I can't remember what relic they were comparing it to now, but everyone was saying that like it was the meme of the guys from American Chopper, which is pretty fun. And they were Gorefather was held by anger on himself, and they were like, "This relic sucks."
I mean, it's good. It's strength +2, so you're still struggling with a Chaos Lord being strength 4 base, so he's going to be strength 6.
Yeah.
AP -2, flat 3 damage. Any roll of a 6 to wound, they suffer 3 mortal wounds. I believe is that not in addition. I don't think.
No.
So basically,
because it says the target suffers 3 mortal wounds and the attack sequence ends. So that means as soon as they take those wounds, nothing else happens.
Yeah. So that's good, but again, you're relying on dice rolls there and getting lucky on your wounds and stuff like that. They'll come up, but they won't come up as often as you'd like. As well as that, it's -1 to hit because it's such a massive weapon. You're losing Death to the False Emperor if you're up against Marines, and we know there's Marine armies everywhere at the moment. So.
Mm-hmm.
It's always nice to get those Death to the False Emperors coming in. I almost like throwing more dice across the board and stuff like that. So,
and we love rolling dice, right?
Out on that? Yeah, man, definitely.
Yeah. Something that
it's good,
just
not great.
I was just going to say, just going quickly back to the Alpha Legion, Stuart's pointed out that you can take Headhunter, which is where the Warlord can target characters that are not closest model. And if you roll a hit roll of a 6, they take a mortal wound. And there's also a relic bolter, which is called Viper's Bite, which is rapid fire 2, strength 5, -3, 2 damage, which could be quite cool for an Alpha Legion Chaos Lord to go and do some character sniping. Just something I
have looked to that. I mean, even on a Chaos Lord on bike, stuff like
Yeah, on a bike, that means he's always rapid firing that bolter, which is cool.
Yes, exactly.
So always getting 2
I have
shots.
thought of that. I don't want to give away too many secrets,
I have not thought of that.
Still trying to go for that top spot.
Yeah. Just a couple of things. Do you think large blobs of cultists, Alpha Legion with the Baden to make them fearless, and then Alpha Legion Warlord to get -1 AP could be good for competitive lists? As you were saying, there's like, yes, it's not bad taking the Alpha Legion blobs of cultists. The issue is cultists just die in droves, and there's no way to quickly get them there without putting them on the board, then now taking them off and then deep striking them turn 2. So,
and the thing is as well, Black Legion haven't got any updated rules, and there's more stuff like Iron Warriors who have Cold and Bitter Warlord trait. We can make a nice cheap HQ, make units fearless. We can do that similar kind of bubble to a Baden, but a lot cheaper. And there's some quite good stuff for the Iron Warriors with like obliterators and stuff like that, which make them a little bit more viable. That would probably make me pick Iron Warriors and have Cold and Bitter over a Baden.
Over a Baden,
yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, a Baden's aura isn't a warlord trait, so you do have that benefit, but he's kind of like, is it 240 points? Yeah, it's quite a lot if you just want
quite a tax to keep
looking after cultists.
Yeah, so it's such a cheap model, it's quite a tax.
Yeah.
So back to World Eaters anyway. So we've had Gorefather and Crimson Killer. What was the other one you noticed, Dan?
Banner of Rage.
Banner of Rage, which is for a priest or a dark apostle.
Yeah, so where I'd see this is probably like a Rhino with Berserkers or something like that, where you've got an extra slot to put a unit in. I normally go with like Kharn and the Exalted Champion to reroll all hits and wounds.
Yeah.
If you can get another character slot in, another Rhino maybe somewhere, because again, it's a priest, so you've not got any chance to put it on a jump pack or anything like that. He can't deep strike. He's going to be foot slogging otherwise.
Yeah.
But what it is, this relic gives +1 attack to units within 6 inches. So you think if that stacks up to Berserkers, Warp Talons, stuff like that, you're getting a fair amount of attacks with the Chaplain.
Yeah.
It's just
really
you want to invest that many points, because really re-rolling the wounds is quite huge for a Berserker unit as well. So I quite like the Kharn World Exalted Champion combo.
Yeah. I suppose if you're fighting twice as well, it's quite good getting those 2 extra attacks in a phase.
Oh, definitely, mate. Can't agree. You've got a bucket load. You're going to need a couple of those dice trays for Berserkers fighting.
Available now at Headhunter.co/shop.
Yeah, mate.
But yeah,
honestly,
it's quite a big points investment, and you've got to get him there in the Rhino. You've got to rely on the Rhino.
The issue is, like with World Eaters, is still there's nothing in here that I can see that allows a World Eater unit to advance and charge.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. You have to double check me on that, but there's that issue, and just survivability. Like Overwatch, you're going to lose way too many units. So
yeah, exactly.
That's still the big kick in the teeth for World Eaters, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but hey, let's look at the positive sides.
They do have some decent stratagems coming out. They've stolen the Alpha Legion one of forward operatives. A apoplectic frenzy. So that's a World Eaters infantry unit, can move before the game starts, up to 9 inches. Yada yada yada. Exactly the same.
It's not the same, mate. On the keyword in there is the infantry unit. Alpha Legion can pretty much anything.
Oh really? Okay, I missed that.
Yeah, I believe so. So it's a little bit different, I believe, but
it's nigh on the same.
I just wanted to quote one more.
No, it is the same, Dan. Sorry. It's World Eaters Infantry.
Oh, am I wrong?
Alpha Legion Infantry. Got you.
Okay. Got you. Got him.
Got him. Sorry, go on.
Oh, good job I've not done that on any disco lodge or anything like that. So. I just wrote down in my notes.
Yeah, sure. So, did you want to go back to an
artifact? Just going one last relic, mate. Yeah, Blood Hunger. Basically giving a model, if you kill an enemy model, 4 up, get a wound back. On a Prince or a Disco Lord, be quite tasty if you're slaughtering, enemy hordes and stuff like that. Keep your survivability again going up through the roof. So
yeah, it's not too bad, that one.
The one I like.
Yeah,
it's
pretty good. There's no limit to how many wounds you could lose if you are a Demon Prince. On 1 wound left, you could gain up to 7 if you made or something, which is pretty cool.
Exactly, mate.
Yeah, the Helm of Fury is quite funny. It's like infantry model only. Add 2 strength characteristics to model with this relic. At the start of your charge phase, you have to charge if you're within 8. No questions asked. You charge, boys. Oh no, I've accidentally left this one model within 8 inches of some Tau unit. Oh no, I'm dead.
It's a bit like in 7th, Angrath had to charge the nearest unit, had to like head towards it, so you just feed him land speeders whilst you just ignored him all game, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's quite funny. It's quite a big big payoff to get +2 strength. It's quite a big sacrifice. Like, I have to charge.
Imagine if, because people will look at that and they'll probably look at Gorefather and think, wow, I've got something that can be like strength 8 or whatever.
Yeah.
But then you still got to charge like.
But you can't double artifact either. So
yeah,
which is a bit of a shame.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah, so you can't take a fancy axe and a helmet, Dan. Everyone knows that. So
get excited.
Yeah, so basically you've got +2 strength to your chainsaw, and you have to charge people.
Yeah.
So they're the cool relics. So stratagems, as we talked about, apocalyptic frenzy.
Scorn of Sorcery is always great. I mean,
yeah.
I absolutely annoyed Toby in a bat rep with that.
Yeah, exactly.
On a 4-up, you deny the power.
Yeah, it's super
really
strong.
Really good. Yeah, I'd probably, if I was doing this, I'd probably still stick with the Brass Collar, going back to the Relics, which is the Chaos Space Marine book stratagem for World Eaters, which gives you a deny and the peril if you successfully deny.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You know, mixing that and Scorn of Sorcery is always good.
Mm-hmm.
Apocalypse Frenzy, like you say, we spoke about. Skulls to the Skull Throne, 1 CP. If your character's badly wounded, you gain 3. Kill a character, gain 3 CP. So it's a bit like.
It's similar to the assassin one, isn't it?
That?
Yeah. So if an assassin murders a character, then you gain so many CP. But this is D3, which is quite cool.
So you're going to use it because you're always only going to break even, and then like I say, if you can get 2 or 3 extra command points, then happy days.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Kill Main Burn's nice a really good one, which is use a stratagem in the fight phase. You consolidate 6 inches rather than 3, which is really strong.
Yeah, so put this with Berserkers. You consolidate 6 inches, they fight first. Mm-hmm. You then fight twice, pile in 3 inches, consolidate another 6, and if you needed to get somewhere in a hurry, fight for a 3rd time, pile in 3 inches, move 6.
Yeah, exactly, which is really, really good.
Ridiculous movement there.
Perfect for bubble wrapping and stuff like that, which is really cool. So
yeah.
You can absolutely obliterate something and then consolidate 6 and then fight again to move 3.
Yeah.
I'm not sure until it's until the end of the phase they consolidate 6. So you essentially get a 15-inch move after you fight for 1 CP.
Yeah.
Because you fight
2
twice.
CP, I think, is it?
No, it's just 1. There's 1 Kill Main Burn, which is like
it is
bizarrely good. So
yeah, even better than what I thought it was. I thought it was 2 from my notes.
I'm a Berserker. I fight twice. I have like 600 attacks each. I murder you, and then I move 15 and wrap something else so you can't shoot me. Good luck.
Yep.
Good luck, friend.
That improves the survivability is what you need with Berserkers at the moment. Yeah, you do have that 3-inch, but this is gonna, you can tag all sorts and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I think what we see with World Eaters is once they are in combat, they are absolutely horrendous, but they still have the trouble of dying before they get there. But I mean, that's the balancing, right? They're really good when they get there, but you've just got to get there, which is the tough part.
Yeah, so. I quite like the one below it, Wild Fury. This could be quite cool because for 1 CP, I really like this actually. World Eater unit adds +1 to the AP, so your chain axes are now AP -2.
Yeah, super good.
Strength 6 because World Eaters are base 5 +1 for the chain axe. So, wounded knights on 4s with Veterans of the Long War and AP -2. Really good,
And you can use this at any point, which is cool. Because a lot of stratagems that buff you are starting to say, use this at the start of the fight phase. And it's like, no, I haven't decided yet. And then this is also to the end of the phase. If you do fight twice, you retain that AP, which is super cool.
Yep.
So Stoke the Nails made me laugh, where they just get angry at everybody by shoving a needle further in the head.
Yeah, so Death to the False Emperor triggers on everyone, but on the 5+ against Imperium. But if you decide to be a bit dirty and like what I did, and
Dan, did you just talk about using a psychic power on a World Eater?
I did, mate.
I'm sure that's what you said. I'm pretty sure that's very much against the law. taking liberties with the law there, Dan.
they just don't like it because it stokes their nails, so you're stoking it even more. That's why Angron hated them, because it affected his nails so much. So let's take some sorcerers, stoke it even more, get prescience
shove it right in.
Right in there. Now that's triggering. Death to the False Emperor is triggering on a 4-up against Imperium.
4-up. So half of your hits are generating extra hits, extra attack.
Which are re-rolling, you know.
How many attacks does a Khorne Berserker have on the charge? Let's just on his own.
Okay, so if you don't give it a chainsword, he's got.
No, with a chainsaw, like the best loadout for a Khorne Berserker. No character support, basically.
Best loadout is, so you're looking at 5 +1 for chainsword, +1 for charging, and +1 for being a world eater. So the basic Berserker's got 5. The Berserker champion will have 6. If my maths is right.
And the weapon skill 3
with a chainsword. Yeah.
So they're going to hit an average 4 times. Just under 4 times. But then every time they attack. So then basically, they get, for every 5 attacks, you're going to get 6 out of them. With that. Just not bad. On average. And then that's with no character support. That's just on their own. Put Kharn there.
On their own.
Put Kharn there, you're just laughing.
Oh, mate. Yeah.
Is Kharn reroll hits or failed hits?
He's currently reroll failed hits. So I don't know if that gets changed because it's old. Because none of that rerolled hits. Core was the first model that used that.
Yeah. Neil has pointed out.
Started to change. So
yeah, Neil has pointed out that Apostle can give you +1 to hit, so you get Death to the False Emperor on 3s.
On 3-ups.
I rolled a hit. Okay, that's 25 hits. What? What do you mean? That's just the first Khorne Berserker. There's another 9 behind him.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Banter.
Wow. I didn't even think. I forget about Dark Apostles because I've not.
They're so new.
To get one. I've not got one in my army. So.
Yeah. I should say, if you're not a Chaos Space Marine player, then they have 6 unique Space Marine litanies in here, which are the chaplain things, and then it's bonkers good. It's like, oh my god. Thankfully, I have a chaplain, but you know. And then obviously they also gave you special rules for like your apothecaries and your chief librarians and stuff, which is just. Did we need this? No, we didn't. But I'll take it. I'll take it all day. So yeah, so each Khorne Berserker is getting an average of, with rerolls, probably 9 hits. No, 8 hits. Sorry,
9 hits.
8.
You can activate veterans, so you're going to wound most things on 2s.
Yeah, between 2s and 5s.
You reroll in your 1s for the Exalted Champion, so you're pretty much getting literally like 90% or more of your hits turning into successful wounds.
Yeah, Stefanos has said so you can have a 5+ invuln area of effect from a Dark Apostle, giving the banner in for that +1 attack 1 phase around him. So then you're getting 6 attacks base. So you're getting an average of 9 hits. Or more per Berserker.
Wow.
Cool. Pure banter, everyone. Yeah. So, is anyone selling anyone Khorne Berserkers?
I'm gonna bring them soon, Mikey. I'm gonna bring Berserkers and the World Eaters back.
You should have a rematch against Toby. That would be really fun with his Grey Knights. And be like,
remember,
hello, friends. Hello, friends. I have about 19 attacks this time, not 7.
Yeah. I hope you roll well, Toby.
Yeah, I hope you're all well. Oh, mate, that was crap me up. There's a little bit in this battle report guides we're talking about. It's from Premium. It's Grey Knights versus World Eaters. There's a little bit that I ended up getting cut out, but it's just when Dan talks about how many attacks a Khorne Berserker gets, and Toby's like, they get this many attacks, and Dan's like, yes. I hope you roll well. So funny.
What shade.
Yeah, pure shade being thrown. Anyway, so Red Butchers is one that a lot of people are talking about. So Red Butchers are the 30k, essentially Terminator Guard, aren't they?
Yeah.
So there's a stratagem in here, which is cool. So you essentially say, select one World Eaters Chaos Terminators unit from your army. Give a +1 strength from the models in that unit, and it gains the following. Blood for the Blood God. This unit can fight twice in each fight phase instead of once, and it's 1 use only. Yeah. So if you're using Terminators, it's really cool. again, you've got
Yeah,
Terminators.
you're gonna have to stack. I mean, it's good, but the issue again is just getting them into combat. So you're gonna have to stack them with someone that's dropping down with them with that +1 to advance and charge rolls, violent urgency. So you're getting your charges off on Corn's favorite number, 8.
Indeed. Yeah, exactly.
So
I think this is a very fluffy stratagem that can
Yeah.
pull off quite well. I wouldn't say it's a very competitive option, but it is a very, very cool option. You can actually buy some of them.
Completely agree with you on that one.
Yeah, buy some of them sexy Terminators from Forge World, and you can actually use them as intended. It's really cool.
Guess who sold their squad of butchers last year?
Silly Dan. So that's the World Eaters. Out of 10, Dan, what would you give the World Eaters?
I'll probably give these a 6.
A 6, yeah. I think
because
they have some really good
great
tricks. Really good in combat, but again, you have to get them to combat, which is always an issue. And they don't have anything that can...
If you can get them... Yeah, if you can get them in, there'll be a nice little addition to a mixed Chaos army, I think. I'm going to start trying them out with some mixed list that I'm going to try.
Yeah, exactly. I said outside of the apocalyptic frenzy, there's not much that can get them there much faster. So
yeah,
but yeah, so we've been talking for nearly an hour now. So I think we'll probably be able to do one more. That is half of the book in terms of chaos.
Yep.
So which one would you like to do, Dan? Shall we do the true winners of the book?
Yeah, I completely agree. I was about to recommend that. As much as I'd love to talk about Night Lords because they've got some cool stuff. Iron Warriors, again, they've got some cool stuff revolving around Obliterators and getting your rerolls and stuff like that on their strength characteristics and stuff.
Yeah.
Emperor's Children have got some really good combos you can do with Noise Marines and with Disco Lords as well. Some really good kind of warlord traits that mix in with stratagems that are going to go bonkers. But for me, Word Bearers have come up trumps in our both mutual opinion here.
Yeah, I would just say there's a cool one in Iron Warriors that I'll just quickly gloss over. There's a cool warlord trait called Demon Smith, which is when resolving an attack made by a model in a friendly Iron Warriors Demon Engine or Iron Warriors Cult Destruction unit within 6 of this warlord, an unmodified hit roll of a 6 causes one additional hit. This is what Neil actually pointed out to me, which is pretty cool. Because the Chaos Decimators have the same keyword for the Demon Smith warlord trait. So Chaos Decimators with Soul Burners, which cause a mortal wound on a hit, can be really good. So it's unmodified 6, so if you press since it doesn't make a difference. But if you roll a 6 to hit with your, is it 4d3 shots? Soul Burners?
3d3, 2d3 in each arm, so 4d3.
Yeah. So if you go into one target, you get 4d3 shots. You're hitting on 2s probably to do, and every hit is a mortal wound. Now with this warlord trait, every 6 to hit is 2 mortal wounds as well as the rest of them being mortal wounds. Super cool. So I think that's probably one of the standout ones, and obviously you got Cold and Bitter as well. But we can't talk about them all because we haven't got all day. We're gonna keep you. So we'll jump to Word Bearers, which as we said at the beginning, have the worst Legion trait but the best buff in this book.
Yeah. Just because we don't see a lot of Word Bearer players either, so if this can get people thinking, oh, that might be a nice little bit of flavour for a Chaos Army that I'm running, then brilliant. We're getting people, trying out new Legions. So, they're not really seen that often on the tabletop because of there's not much going for them really. But that's just going to completely change here.
Yeah, there's only one person I know who plays Word Bearers. There's 2 people. One person is DC from SM Battle Reports. He actually has a Word Bearers army. And actually plays it, and then there's Alex who has an army, but he won't paint it because I keep trying to persuade him. I am like Lorgar himself. I'm just like, Erebus, just like, paint me, Alex, paint me like your French girl, Alex. So I'm still trying. He's been texting me about stuff that's really good. So I'll be like, yeah, you could buy one of those. That's pretty good. Do it, Alex. Do it. So Space Marines are the winners in this mainly Chaos book. I'm not going to say yes because I'm trying to promote Chaos, but yes.
Yes.
Bad cough. so let's go down. So Word Bearers warlord traits, the angry first Chaos boys.
Yeah, so this will be picking 2 that I like the look of the most is number 4, Master of Union, and number 6, Sacrilegious Regeneration.
So Master of Union is add 1 to the attack characteristics of models in friendly word bearer demon units whilst within 6 of this warlord. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then
so I can see this going off. Sorry to interrupt, Mikey.
Go for it.
Really well with demon engines or like raptors, talons. When they're coming down, get an extra attack because I'm really bigging up Warp talons at the moment, mate. Yeah, really liking them. Or put it on a Disco Lord of Slanesh with Intoxicating Elixir, so he gets an extra 2 attacks on his base profile.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah, because he is a demon himself, isn't he?
So, exactly. So that's quite good.
Yeah. And which was the other one, sorry?
Number 6, if you want to read it out.
6. Sacrilegious Regeneration. Add 1 to the Warlord's wound characteristics. At the start of your turn, this Warlord gains up to D3 lost wounds. Again, on a Disco Lord or on a Demon Prince is going to be super strong, just to keep them alive for longer. And
that would be D3 plus 1 on a Disco Lord as well, because Disco Lords naturally give themselves 1 back at the start of the turn. So
so up to 4 wounds a turn, minimum 2, which is super good. Super good.
Exactly.
So again, 6 relics.
Any you spotted, mate?
Not really, to be honest. I said that I saw like Exalted Possession, which is like, oh cool, I get the demon keyword, so that's cool. So if I have another guy with a Wall of Trait next to me, I'll get +1 attack. But he has +1 of strength. It goes a bit faster, which is nice. I mean, again, it's the whole, as I said earlier, is like when I'm choosing Wall of Traits and relics, is I'm looking at stuff that buffs the army rather than just buffs himself. Shadow Players TV, thank you very much for the follow. So. The Voice of Lorgar is not bad, so on a Chaos Lord you can get a 9-inch reroll. But again, I think they already had that one. I think that was from the Codex itself.
I got Voice of Lorgar showing add 3 to the range of the Warlord's auras.
Yeah. So essentially, like your reroll range becomes 9-inch rather than 6-inch if you got reroll ones to hit.
Sorry, mate, I misheard you.
Yeah, I mean, Demonic Whispers is nice. I don't know if they have a. It's a nice warlord trait that you'd normally take as like a secondary warlord trait. So if you can gain,
you would normally take this on a company commander or a Imperial Guard.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty much Grand Strategist, isn't it? Almost.
Yes. So this is if your army's battlefield drawn 1d3 before the battle begins, you gain a number of command points equal to the result. And then once per battle, if this warlord is on the battlefield, you can roll a single hit roll, wound roll, damage roll, or saving throw. And that's not just for the warlord; that's for anything in your army, which is cool. But like when you can get Voice of Lorgar or Master of Union, and you can't take, because a lot of armies now have, you can take a second warlord trait on someone else. If you could, you take Demonic Whispers because you spend a CP to get it, and then you gain D3 CP. It's free essentially. If nothing happens, you get a free reroll. If it goes off well, you get an extra 2 command points. But there's nothing like that for the Chaos at the minute, so which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, it's not as though I think Black Legion do, but again, Black Legion you can't mix that with this. So
yeah, exactly.
Vigilus Ablaze, it's a bit pointless. It's a bit of a shame. So they're the 2 traits, mate. I think we've covered quite well there. The relics, if you're cool with that are spotted straight away off the first one. Crown of a Blasphemer.
Yeah, or Blasphemer.
It's quite nice. Blasphemer. Oh, sorry. Improve the relic save with the invul by 1 to a maximum of 3. Subtract 1 from the leadership characteristic of models, and whilst they're in 6. So basically, it's just to maybe give your Disco Lord or Demon Prince a 4-up.
Yeah.
Again, with the amount of stuff that like Space Marines are re-rolling failed morale tests and stuff like that, it's not that massive.
Yeah.
It can come into effect if you've got something like Butcher Cannons that are giving a -2 to leadership plus -1 there. It does start to get interesting, but again, you're going to have to position it right, and then you're going to have to target priority previously in the shooting phase. It's that's situational, but the +1 to the save is quite nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because Chaos can actually make their own Smash Captains because you can give them a 3+ invuln, give them a Thunder Hammer and a Storm Shield, and they have the exact equivalent, which is quite nice. But they also get this extra -1 to leadership, which again, as Dan said, not a lot happens, but at least you have that 3-up invuln, which is quite cool.
That's it.
So,
but the relic I'm quite liking here, though, mate, is the Ashen Axe. I'm really liking this.
So this is a chain axe, +1 strength, -2, and then D3 damage. Any units with 1 inch of this model with this relic cannot fall back unless they have the vehicle or Titanic or have a minimum move characteristic. And again, as I said at the beginning, this is showing up everywhere, and it is super duper strong. So preventing units from falling back is crazy good.
Mikey and I spoke off air before the podcast, and I was saying to him, like, putting this with a Lord. So in one hand he's got a chain axe for 1 point, swapping this out for this relic. Other hand he's got like a power fist or a thunder hammer, where in your turn you might not want to kill the unit you're going into, or like the vehicle. Go into their turn, they can't fall back. You're hitting it with the thunder hammer, blowing up. You know, bit more survivability. You can then pick what you want to go into for your next turn. So yeah, really like the Ashen Axe and what you can do with it, and you can take it on.
Yeah, because you don't even have to use it, as you said. Like a lot of people forget. Like it's something I did at Alliance Open this weekend. Is like I didn't want to kill something because I wanted to bubble wrap it. So a lot of people don't realize that every unit in the game, as per the FAQ, has a combat weapon that is strength user, no AP, and 1 damage, which is just basically kicking them. Yeah. So what you do is you don't use your fancy Ashen Axe that makes you -2 and D3 damage. You just hit them with your strength 4, no AP, 1 damage. There's hopefully does it kill them. And then because he's holding the axe, he's like waving it in the air and scaring you with it. You can't fall back, which is super good. Yeah. So unless you have a minimum move.
For a point, 1 point for a chain axe.
Yeah, exactly. So just 1 point. Obviously, they have the minimum move thing, because what we saw with White Scars with Master of Snares was automatically blowing up flyers because they couldn't disengage, so they couldn't move, which meant they blew up. So they've clarified that now, which is cool.
A little bit, yeah. Makes it a bit fairer, I think.
Yeah, exactly. The Malefic Tome is quite good.
Turning around to someone and saying that, I don't even have to touch you now, and you start your turn, you're just
dead.
Removing that model.
Yeah. It's non-interactive, which I think is what GW are trying to avoid. A situation where it doesn't matter what happens, you can't do anything about it. So it does still come up with flyers if you block the board so they can't land, but at least you have the chance to physically move it and try. And stuff like magic boxes in ITC where you can't interact with the unit inside. It's just a bit of a sour gameplay, as I'd like to call it, which isn't fun. So JW says, will this stream be posted on YouTube so I can rewatch it for parts of reference? Yeah, it'll be straight on YouTube just after we finish. It'll be also out as a podcast as well, so you can listen to it in the car or while you go for a jog or something like that. So the Malefic Tome is quite good. As I was saying, it's a cycle model. An extra power, which is cool, and you also add 1 to the result for when you cast in, which means you can guarantee your warp times, your prescience and stuff like that, which is quite cool.
Giving yourself a mini Ahriman, we spoke before, didn't we? You cast in 3. You've got +1 to your powers there. If you want to mix in Thousand Suns, you could even make your Thousand Sun Warlord have +1 to their first casting power. Ahriman +1, and this you're getting a lot of. Imagine those are as smites, mate, and you're getting a +1.
It's like essentially ignoring most of the minuses, which is hilarious. So
last one for the relics, mate. I quite like is Baleful Icon. I mean, it's giving you a -2 to your charge, which is kind of like what a repulsor gets for free. But if you want to make sure your backfield artillery or gun line is not getting tagged in charge phase, then this could be quite good to making those 9 inches into 11-inch charge.
Yeah, exactly. So they don't have anything that stops deep strike, but they do have stuff that reduces it, which is cool.
Yeah, exactly.
So, again, a lot of the word bearer relics are a lot of angry shouting. That's what they're kind of known for. They don't like hit you. They have the Ashen Axe where they shout and wave at you in your face, so you're too scared to leave. And then they have the Baleful Icon, which they do the same to make you so slow. So, or Crown of the Blasphemer, which reduces your leadership. So, just angry shouting from everybody.
Yeah.
So there are some of the cool relics, or artifacts, should I say. So then we have the stratagems. Again, they have 7 stratagems to choose from.
I really like the second one.
Malevolent Covenant.
That's the one, thank you.
That's all right. Use a stratagem in your psychic phase. After a Wordbearer Psychic unit from your army fails a psychic test, this power is automatically manifested by that psychic unit at the minimum required warp charge value, which I don't think they needed to reference. But, and without a double having been rolled, and cannot be resisted by a denial of witch attempts. After resolving the effect of the psychic power, that psyker suffers 1 mortal wound, which is great. Absolutely great. Yep. It's good for, like, as we mentioned, like warp time and prescience. It'd be a shame if you I was going to say it'd be a shame if you really wanted this power to go off. So you wanted to use your stratagem for warp time. Is it warp charge 8 warp time?
No, 6.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
it'd be funny if you rolled a straight.
If you really need it to go off, it's nice.
Yeah, it'd be a bit of a shame if you like rolled a straight 6 and then you're like, damn, I can't use my stratagem for it to automatically go off, and then your opponent just denies it on a 7.
Straight off.
Yeah.
But what it could be quite good with is if you need to get Def X off on like a Robbie G character or something like that, you know.
That's it. Def X is 8, isn't it? It's quite expensive.
Yeah, Def X is 8. Prescience as well. Prescience is always another one that you really kind of like, especially if you're buffing your Disco Lords or your shooting units. You know, you really want it to go off, so quite nice for 1 CP. Another thing I was looking at though is getting your super smites off, because if you've got a lot of sorcerers and you end up getting in, you need a cast of value of 11, you get 3, then you made yourself a super smite.
Interesting now, because it says that you cast it at the minimum required warp value. Because the minimum required warp charge value is 5.
Point, but at that point, because you got -1 to it every time you cast it, for that person, that minimum requirement should be 11 in my eyes.
Interesting. Something we'll have to have a look into, see if we can figure it all out.
Yeah, if anyone else got any comments on that, let us know. But that's how I see it, because at that point, that is the minimum requirement for that model to pass Smite.
Yeah, because we'll have to look at how the Smite reduction's worded, whether it just increases the casting value or it reduces the result. Because if it says like, you're -1 to cast Smite, then you'd never be able to roll 11 when you've cast it that many times. Because you'd roll 11 and if it's -6, it'd be like only casting on a 5, for example.
Worth checking though. It's worth food for thought if that is possible. I think it could potentially be, but like you say, but I've not checked the wording. Yeah, it's just me getting a little bit excited.
It would be quite cool though. You go, I've cast Smite 2 times, so now it's 11. Haha. Hey, on the first I do, man. No, welcome in.
I mean, you've got to have the characters in place. The sorcerers all casting Smite to get to that point. That's when I think it will work.
Yeah, exactly.
Just it once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be quite interesting.
How many smites is that? It's at least 6. You'd have to cast Smite 6 times. Yeah, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna say they've got someone which is cool for extra summoning Chaos Demons, which is okay. The Dark Pact. You can re-roll the dice and you don't suffer any wounds. Sorry, flagging a bit there. You don't suffer any wounds for rolling doubles or triples, which is okay if you're taking demon summoning. It's not seen that much in like competitive 40k, but in like mid-tier lists or like for fun games, it's pretty cool and it's very thematic, as I said. So they have a lot of the legions have like 1, maybe 2 amazingly good stratagems, and then they have lots of good ones that are like really good for the fluff. They're like really like inset them in the lore, which is cool. Yeah, Wordbearer is giving 1k Sons a run for the money.
Oh, they are, mate. Like the Apostle of the Dark Council for 1 CP, you're basically getting a chaplain that can cast two prayers.
Yeah.
So that's quite good. But it does say I think you can only use a stratagem once for battle, so you can't, because you pick it before the battle starts. You're saying this priest,
this one in particular is the Dark Priest.
Yeah, you can't then use it again on another one, so you've got multiple priests doing 2 prayers per turn. It's just 1 priest that can do it, but still 1 CP. It's quite nice.
Yeah, that's quite funny, because the Space Marine's got a stratagem called Master of Sanctity, which knows you can know 1 additional litany and cast 2, and you can't have more than 1 in your army. It's like they give with one hand, and then give Space Marine 2.
Yeah, because that can be any Space Marine Legion, right? Or chapter that can have
exactly.
This is tied to word bearers.
Yeah, it's just pure banter. It's just pure banter. I just don't know what they were thinking. Like, I love Games Workshop and I love Space Marines, but it's just like, did they need another book? No, they didn't. But here we are. Here we are in the world in
anyway. Yeah.
November 2019. Space Marines have 9 books to choose from. But anyway. Curse Despoilers is just hilarious. The 2 CP uses stratagem after deployment but before the battle round begins. If your word bearer's unit for your army is on the battlefield, select a terrain feature and it just does nothing anymore. Just like, you don't get cover and you don't get cover. It's like, what?
Didn't Wartsmiths used to do that in 7th?
I think like, so,
now it's a 2 CP stratagem.
It's just absolutely hilarious.
Rubbish.
It's just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
It's like, this is a poisonous tree
2
now.
CP as well.
Yeah. This hill that you stood on that probably doesn't provide cover anyway, but you see this hill? Well, now we've cut the grass so we can see you.
I guess if someone's hiding behind a load of trees and that -2 to charges, you could turn it off. That's the only positive thing I'm thinking of here, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's cool. It's just funny. It's just a funny one.
Yeah.
So, was there any other stratagems that you noticed, Dan?
Yeah, there's two more, mate. Revered Host. Now, if you stack this with Exalted Possession Warlord trait on a Disco Lord, you've got, so it reminds you of Exalted Possession, gets the Possessed and Demon keywords, +1 strength and attacks, and +1 to the movement characteristic. This will then, a word bearer's possessed unit or greater possessed unit in your army is chosen to fight with. To the end of the phase, add 1 to damage characteristics of the melee weapons. So your Disco Lords are now pumping out flat 3 damage with the main weapon, 2 damage on the mecha tendrils, D3 +1 with the limbs and tails, and then the mortal wound on vehicles is again D3 +1 in addition to D3 +1 damage.
Nice. That is super strong. Again, you have to do a bit of stacking, so you have to take that Warlord trait, and then you have to spend a CP. But if you do get that off, it's really, really good.
Yeah, it should delete most things there, which is quite cool. Can you pronounce the one below it for me?
Hexagrammatic Ward.
That's the one. I quite like that.
Yeah, so diabolical wards of protection can turn aside the enemy's blows. So use this stratagem in any phase after making a saving throw for a word bearer's character model from your army. Treat the result of that saving throw as a 6. Each word bearer character from your army can be the target of this stratagem once per battle. So that's pretty cool.
A bit of survivability when you've got those repulsor executioners hitting you. If you can make a couple of those saves, and then this one, one goes through. I'm going to fail save this and
spend a CP, and which is pretty cool because, as you said, like you can roll your saves and then use this, but also then you can CP reroll as well. So if you fail 2, you can make one automatically a 6, and then you can use a CP to try and roll the other one in. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, a nice use of two CP there. Just a bit more survivability on that front. So
yeah,
they're the top ones from me, mate.
So that is the word bearers. So again, some fluffy stratagems, a really funny one. Angry poisonous buildings or whatever, and then you've got like your extra damage and your hexagrammic wards, so you can do some chanting, read the Book of Our Lord and Savior, and have you heard the Word of God or the Chaos Demons, whatever takes your fancy on a Sunday morning. So they're pretty cool. I give them, I think Word Bearers got the biggest buff because they just were not seeing the table at all, and now they have some really good cheeky tricks. Which can really put them into not just a competitive light, but at least give some flavour to them, which they just didn't have.
Yeah, I can definitely see myself practicing and trying out like a battalion of supporting sorcerers, supporting characters to go along with like my Disco Lords and or my Alpha Legion and stuff like that. So yeah, there's some interesting options there. If you don't mind, I just want to touch on a couple of cool stratagems for the ones we're not just one of the Night Lords. I think most people might already know about. I'm not sure. Raptor Strike, 1 CP to get a 3d6 charge for a unit that was set up from reinforcements. Good way of getting your Raptors in or your Talons in if you've host Raptoral, where they're getting +2 to their charge anyway. You're guaranteeing those big charges, lots of movement, stuff like that. You can tag a lot of stuff with that. I don't know if you spotted any in the Iron Warriors that you really like the look of, Mikey, before we end.
I can't remember. Let me have a quick. Because I've read this all twice. I've got to try and glance and try and remember. I saw the Rampant Technovirus, which is quite good, so you can re-roll any of the D3 for Obliterators or Mutilators, which is cool.
Yes, so for 1 CP, you're effectively getting another 2 free re-rolls of chances of getting those high damage, the high AP, and the high strength, which is quite cool.
And then they
they've
also
got
have
tank hunters for 1 CP. Pick a vehicle, enemy, reroll wounds until the end of the phase. Shooting or fight, that'd be quite good if you're up against knights and you wanting those 1s and 2s to generate into hits, into successful wounds. That could be quite good.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that Imperial Fists have the same named stratagem. It's 2 CP though. You're still picking enemy vehicle, but you add 1 to wound instead of rerolling to wound, which is interesting. So this one's cheaper, and I'd say arguably better. I'd prefer reroll than add to wound, but that's just me. That's just me.
They've also got a similar one to the Alpha Legion, where I mentioned before, Conceal. They're called Cannon Fodder, which is quite cool, the naming of it. Because if cultist units win 6, they cannot be targeted unless they're closest. So basically, again, quite similar to the other one. Whereas Alpha Legion, it could be anything in front of you. This is, if a squad of cultists in, then they have to take the wounds off the cultists first. So basically, like a human shield.
Yeah, so you could put them in front of some havocs. Use the Warlord trait Cold and Bitter, so within 6 you automatically pass morale, and then spend 2 CP to protect your havoc backline with a big blob of cultists, which is quite cool. So
that's good. And if I can just finish, mate, on where are we? Emperor's Children.
Emperor's Children.
Yeah, I'll just do one here. Now, they've got quite a cool relic that can stack quite nicely with a stratagem called the Raiment Revulsive. If you want to read that out for me whilst I get the stratagem up.
The stratagem Raiment Revulsive.
That's a relic. Sorry, it's a relic. Raiment.
I apologise. There we go. When resolving an attack by a model with this relic, you can reroll the hit roll, you can reroll the wound roll. When a charge roll is made with this model with this relic, you can reroll the result. So that's really good. Because the way it's worded, it sounds bizarre, but basically you reroll hit and wounds. That's what it means.
Yeah, pretty much. And if you stack that with Honor the Prince for 1 CP, use this stratagem in your charge phase after making a charge roll for Emperor's Children, you can change the result of one of the D6 to a 6. So basically, that's pretty good. You're mixing that with that, you're guaranteeing some decent damage because you reroll into hit to wounds with whichever unit, whether that's Noise Marines, because Noise Marines guys have a lot of attacks in the fight phase. They're really solid for pumping out a lot of dice rolls.
Yeah.
And if you can re-roll all them, that's brilliant. And then getting them in as well. So you're looking for a 9 or greater charge. You're guaranteed one of the dice is going to be a 6. Then you're looking for normally like a 3+, which should go off,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just 2 quick things that we don't have time for that I thought I just wanted to note on those.
What's quite interesting with the Raiment Revulsive, it says when an attack made by this model, it doesn't say close combat attacks, so if you put it on a disco lord, your autocannon reroll hits and wounds. Just thought I'd let you know.
Yeah.
Which is quite funny. Your autocannon or your flamer or whatever you've got on there, I can't remember now. Something that I think Neil just pointed out is a Disco Lord a demon engine? I presume it is.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so you could give that. You could tie that in with Demon Smith, the one I mentioned earlier about getting the extra hits on a 6, which is pretty cool because it has that many attacks.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's a quick review of 3 of the 6 legions in Psychic Awakening 2, Faith and Fury. I want to say once again, massive thank you to Games Workshop for supporting us to be reviewers, so we can actually get these books nice and early, so we can talk to you about them, which is super cool. This was a bit of an ad hoc podcast because obviously we would have loved to film with this, but we were all in Amsterdam at the time. But if you like this format, then we will do more of this type of format, which is pretty cool. So have you enjoyed yourself, Dan?
Yeah, it's been good, and it's good to, even though, like you say, we were away, you guys were away this weekend, just to get our thoughts out there, and hopefully people enjoyed listening to our views and stuff like that. So yeah, so we couldn't get through all of them. Like you say, would have been here all night if we had to go through the other 3. But
exactly, we've been live for like 2 hours.
Yeah. So
that Warlord trait doesn't work with that strat. Which one do you mean? The Emperor's Children one? You can reroll the result.
That's mentioned.
Yeah. You can roll the charge and then re-roll if you want to, and then you can use that stratagem as well. So if you roll like a double 1, you can re-roll it, and now you've got 6 and a 1. You need a 12. You can use the CP to change the 1 to a 6, so you get a 12-inch charge, for example. So
yeah,
I feel like I'm an air hostess. You know, when they have the cards and they do this and then they flip it and then they're like this and then they tell you to read.
Your exit points are here.
Here. Yeah, this is how you move the door. But yeah, thank you very much.
Exit points are the Space Marine aspect of this book.
yeah. Again, Games Workshop, I absolutely love you for sending this book, but why did you give us more Space Marine stuff in here? All I'm going to say is
can't have anything else Chaos Space Marine players. Always got those pesky cousins of ours.
Yeah, exactly.
Interfering.
Hey Dan, do you know? Obviously, I took Centurions to this event this weekend.
Yeah.
How about Centurions with a 5+ invuln and a 6-up Feel No Pain?
No, Mikey.
How about Centurions that can be healed twice a turn with an Apothecary? Anyway, coming next time in the Space Marine update of Faith and Fury, Psychic Awakening 2, we'll be doing a quick chat about that. So obviously today we saw the new Mephiston. We also saw Psychic Awakening 3 Blood and Talons announced properly, with the release date being the 30th of November. So hopefully we'll be able to review that one as well if Games Workshop liked our review of this one. Maybe they'll send that one out as well. That'd be super cool. But otherwise, thanks Dan. Thanks for coming on and helping us out with that, because I'm not very good chaos
everyone
man.
Else in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're more than welcome, mate. It's my, like I say, I'm going to be at Cali Grand Slam this weekend in Stockport. So if anyone's there, come say hi, come share a beer with me. I'm happy to chat about anything and everything, pretty much.
Well, there you go. So if you want to go hang out with Dan, if you are there on the Sunday, then I'll come say hello as well, because I'm popping down. So I'm driving past on the way.
Saturday's the better day then, guys.
Saturday's a better day if you really want to see me. But there you go. So thank you very much, everyone. I think we're going to call it there. Hopefully we'll be able to do a battle report. I think I'm filming with Neil with some Iron Warriors who'll be able to show you some cool tricks come next week.
Nice.
Which would be really cool. Good. And obviously we'll get you on Dan to do some Alpha Legion and World Eaters and maybe Word Bearers all mixed together, which would be quite fun.
By that point,
maybe not, but we'll see. So there you go. If you want, thank you very much for listening. Obviously, if you're watching live, thank you very much for tuning in. If you listened as a podcast, thank you very much. If you want to listen to this as a podcast, you can listen to it on iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Getting all the admin out of the way. Final few notes: if you want to support the podcast, make sure you tell all your friends. Thank you very much for everyone who's followed and resubbed and hosted and bits, which has been amazing. So thank you very much. You can subscribe on Twitch if you want to support. You can join on YouTube, or you can also join on Hellstorm, Wargaming.co.uk, and join Premium for our extra battle reports and support us directly. Get discounts on the web store, and also you get access to our Facebook group where you can get direct contact with us and chat hobby all day. So there we go. Anything else to add, Dan?
No, that's it, mate. It'd be good to see the Iron Warriors, and like I say, we're not talking about them tonight. So when you do that back rep with Neil, it's going to be good. And thanks everyone for joining us.
There you go. So thank you very much for watching. If you're watching on Twitch, do stay tuned. So we'll be hosting someone. But otherwise, we've been Hellstorm Wargaming. You guys have been fantastic, and hopefully we'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.